I'm here with Gemma in your garden. Hello, Gemma.
Yes, hi.
The reason I'm talking to you as part of our whole celebration of Mary Anning and things Mary Anning is because in the video clip for the song and also in backing vocals, you were Mary Anning, weren't you? So what did you know, before we get onto some other things, and we talk about the creative side of your involvement, what did you know about Mary Anning beforehand?
I knew very little about Mary Anning beforehand. Before I met Michael and we started
That's my producer, yes.
we started talking about the music video, I had not heard about Mary Anning at all. I had no idea who she was.
And which is cool, but this is part of what this whole exercise is about, isn't it?
Yes.
It's about helping to share what is such a really cool story. So, and you're not the only person that doesn't know Mary Anning's story. What have we got there? What little creature have we got in the background, by the way?
That's my son, Konya.
Oh, Konya is. So, what kind of creature is Sonia? Konya.
I was like, it's a son, Konya. It's a bird.
What kind of bird is it?
Son, Konya.
Oh, a son. Oh, I thought you were saying it's your son, Konya, and I'm thinking you call your bird your son, which is perfectly normal in pet world. Fantastic.
No, that would be the son, Konya.
Oh, son Konya, which is a kind of a parrot.
Yes.
Hence the screeching, delightful sound that we can hear in the background. That's cool. We'll keep talking with your son Konya, talking in the background with us. So, didn't know much about, or didn't know anything about Mary's story. What do you know now of her that has stuck through this process?
I guess, I still don't know a lot about what she did, but for me, it was more focusing on who she was as a person rather than what she achieved. Because I had to try and get into her character. I wanted to know more about her. So it was very much looking into all of her, she was a very driven person. She didn't like to be put in categories. She was strong and independent despite being a woman in that time. So that for me was more of the important thing that I kind of looked into rather than her scientific
science and
discoveries.
stuff, which is really cool, and I guess as a performer, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get into that person, into that character, and so in making the video clip and singing the song, what were the bits that stand out for you in terms of the process? I mean, there's some pretty cool locations, weren't there?
Yeah, no, the locations are insane. For the filming, we drove all over the place. We spent one day down at Victor. So we went down, it's this beach town, and we went to, I think it was about...
That's your son, Connor. Anyway, go on. You went to this beach town, yes?
We went down to Victor Harbour, which is a beach town. We went to about 3 different beaches, I think, throughout the whole day. And, it was the first one was gorgeous. And we ended up, that's where you see all, the rock climbing scenes. So I was literally just climbing up cliffs, pretty much, which was super fun. It's the one of the best parts about taking on a character such as Mary Anning is all the adventurous stuff that she got up to. It's, you don't do that anymore, really.
Some of my favourite bits, there's a scene in the video clip where you're leaping off a rock and kind of dancing around, and for me and for Michael, the producer, what was really important, because most of the times that you see Mary Anning, she's either a tiny little kid or she's older woman and stuff, but it's well, what's teenager Mary Anning like? You're 18-ish. And we wanted to say, well, Mary Anning as a late teenager is going to be somebody who's going to be a teenager. Yeah. And teenagers dance and skip along the beach, don't they? And teenagers do. I think we see in the way that you've done it. When you're drawing those circles, there's a joy
Yeah, for sure.
I think. And how did you feel as you were doing that? Is that what kind of is how you saw part of a character?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there was this freedom in a way to Mary's character. It was very much like she was like within the music video, she was old enough that she was capable to do all this stuff, and she was young enough that she still had that naivety and that like belief that she could. You know, she hadn't, if you think about it, in that kind of era, if she was like an older woman, she would have been like conformed to society almost. She would have known
and
that
she
like,
had.
she couldn't do things, she would have been squashed down, but when she was a teenager she still had all that hope.
And what's really cool with the story of Mary Anning, we think we see through the fact that she kept on doing the stuff that she did.
Yeah.
She actually maintains some of that aspect of that character, that hope and that joy. You know, things became very difficult at times.
Yeah.
But I think for me, when I look at the clip, part of, and we've got so much more footage of you skipping and dancing along the beach and stuff, but it's that, I think, that's part of the key, because the song I think is nice and works as it is, but seeing in the video clip this person and their, in a sense, their unbounded joy at just loving the stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my favourite bits in seeing the way you brought Mary to life, even though she's been dead for quite a long time. But she is 221 this year. Anything else you'd like to add about the experience for you? I mean, when you look back on it now, what are a couple of things that you take from it?
I guess like for me, I haven't done that many like videos before. I've done like, you know, a short film and like a music video or two in the past, but not really a lot. And so I always enjoy seeing the behind the scenes part of it as well as what's happening on the camera, and you see like all the different camera angles and like lining them up and stuff. I got to be a part of being like, you know, choosing a lot of the camera angles and, you know, having input into that.
Because in the credits, if you look at the credits for that, you'll see that you're the assistant director.
Yes.
Yes, and I think that's because we sometimes we forget how much we know, and like, because you obviously, you know, you watch TV and you watch video clips and stuff. Then it's like, okay, well, you're in the place now where you can decide on the camera angles, and I think that's one of the great things of working with Michael. He'll be like, well, you here's the phone on the gimbal, you just start shooting some video.
Yeah, no, it was insane. I actually, a lot on the first day of filming, we were at the beach and it was.
And that's with the band. You see the yes.
I was like, we filmed that. It was Mary, Flint, of course, and the Flintettes, and all the Flintettes did like a solo, like take as such of the song, and they were filming it on the big camera, but I was actually kind of crawling around on the floor around them, holding like the phone on the gimbal, and filming them from like some crazy angles. And like the opening shot of the film
is that absolutely
the opening shot is like the hand down the guitar, and that was one of my gimbal shots, which
yeah,
is really exciting.
and the really cool thing is that wasn't planned beforehand.
God, no.
That was just like, I remember Michael saying, Gemma, could you just do this and just play with, because I want a few shots of the solo, and then that worked so well. It's like, let's get everybody, all four of the Flintettes to do a and that's part of the buzz of this creative stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's trying new things and seeing what comes of it, and then getting really excited about what comes from it, which then sparks more inspiration to try something else, and it's just like this massive snowballing process, and it's great.
Yeah, and not just going, okay, well, this is the running sheet, this is the storyboard, we must stick to that. It's like, no, the storyboard is notes.
Yeah. It was very
and
much.
You need to be able to be prepared to leap from that, and that's what creative people do, and that's what scientists do in their research and work and stuff. Look, Gemma, it has been absolutely fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Mary Anning.